someone that other people want to hang out with.
Welcome back to It Takes Universe. I'm Ashley, and today we have
Nnamdi Ngwe. Thank you, stop, please.
Thank you, stop.
No,
Keep going,
please.
stop.
There's no way out.
Oh man! Ah! Ah! We can fight that thing together. Come on, guys! Ah!
A skosh.
Let's go. Yes, thanks for being here today,
Thanks
fellow
for having me.
writer, actor,
Yeah.
model extraordinaire. How I always like to start it is, do you feel like more actor, more writer, both? You can't choose one?
Good question. I don't. Yeah, I feel like all of them. I feel like all of them because I love writing and acting, being on stage live, being in front of cameras. There's one right there. Hi, Mom. So I don't. Yeah,
You don't
I
differentiate.
Yeah,
It's all creating.
It's all love. But
It's all love.
yeah,
Okay.
there is always. That question comes up in different ways a
Yeah.
lot, trying to.
Mold you into one checkbox.
Yeah, put me into
Not
put me
here.
into-
I
no,
do it all.
No, I can do it all. What do you need? You want to fix the plumbing? I can do it. Okay.
Exactly. Anyways, so how did your creative journey begin then? Itty bitty acting, or like how did you start?
I wish itty bitty acting because that's be a much cuter story. Itty bitty acting.
I did it as well.
Okay. No, when I was younger, I grew up playing soccer.
Ooh,
As
me
a
too.
soccer player. Okay, high five. We don't use our hands in the game.
Soccer.
Yeah, high kick. Don't, just kidding. No. Calm down. When I was younger, I was a soccer player, and so myself and my brother, I have a twin brother.
I didn't know.
I'm bragging.
I'm unique.
Yes, we're gonna superimpose a picture of him right here. I hope you don't. So it's just weird silent moment. I have a younger brother. I do have a younger brother, but I have a twin brother who we both played soccer together, and we got to do that in many different places. And while I was playing soccer, I was always like drawn to artistic and creative things. I would like rap with my friends, like freestyle stuff, and got into modeling, acting. But I did all that stuff in secret. So my teammates and stuff had no idea I was into all this stuff. I know, and I was like captain of these teams and everything like that, and had this whole secret life of like doing arts.
It's like Troy Bolton in High School Musical.
High School Musical is based off of my life.
On your
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so this was high school. Okay, so like elementary, middle school was just
Sports,
academics.
but I did the interest in
the
the arts in especially like film and television was always there. And again with my twin brother, we would always like write stuff together, but just brothers being brothers, just like writing. Yeah, we would just kind of write stuff together, just like goofy little jokes that we thought were funny, and then kind of expanded them out, and that stayed with us. So as we got through high school and into college, playing soccer as well. We're in the South, so in Alabama. Soccer on the exterior, soccer was everything, and of course you do classes, stay in school. But those other things just like popped up, and the opportunities for me to perform more open once I was done playing soccer. I was in Denver, Colorado. I moved there after I was done playing, and there was a Starbucks nearby, and I would go to the Starbucks all the time, and for the free Wi-Fi. And yes. And when you go to a place all the time, you see the same people all the time. And there was one woman I would see all the time. Her name is Marianne Hogan. She does makeup for television in Denver, local television there. And she would just do jokes back and forth. Eventually, we sat at the same table when we go to the Starbucks and just kind of goof back and forth. One day, she said, "Hey, you should do improv class." And I said, no, peace, no thank you. Peace be with you. And then she, and time passed, a week or two passed, and she was like, "Did you sign up for the classes I told you about?" And I said, "Absolutely not. Improv, get out of here." And then she took my computer, because we're at the Starbucks, took my computer, signed me up, told me, give me a card, took my card, signed me up, so I had to go to the class.
You had money.
Yeah.
Just knowing
like,
you had money.
Yeah.
Like he must have the.
Yeah, he's at a Starbucks, so he's got money.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So signed me up for the class, and then I had to go, and I went, and
your life changed forever.
Forever, ever. Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't heard that story. Wow. So
Yeah. She
That's
took me up,
great.
took my thing, signed me
Still
up.
chit chat with her.
Yes. I was in Denver last year, and I saw her for the first time in ages.
Wow.
And we chatted, and I let her know that, thank you for, giving me the nudge I needed, but didn't. I didn't know how I was going to take that first step into the thing, because I always knew about comedy and knew about improv from like TV shows and stuff like that. Whose Lines It Anyway and Wilding Out. But I didn't know how to take that first step, and she gave me the nudge that I needed. Also met one of my best friends in that first class, day one, level one. We moved to Chicago together to be, because after a bit of time in Denver,
I learned what I could learn.
I had a great time, and I was really enjoying performing and stuff there. But I wanted a bit more. I had my mind set on coming to LA, but my friend Mo Welch, who's an amazing stand-up comedian and writer, she was like, "We should go to Chicago." So I was like, "All right."
Okay.
So we went to Chicago, and things took off there with IO in Second City.
Yeah.
And other places, Annoyance. We love Annoyance and Playground, everybody. But jumped into classes there and performing and touring there, and eventually began teaching and stuff too. So that was a wonderful time. And in Chicago, well, in like I said, I was always creating with my brother and brothers. I have another brother who is here, up here, and a sister too. And we always created the stuff together. We're a creative, goofy family. But with my brother in Chicago, is where we started writing a bit more together, more concentrated stuff that we could make together. And it'll be things that we wanted to see, but typically wouldn't have any black leads in. Right. And so. And
when you mean make like a short film, or make for like a play or sketch on stage, or both?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, it's like short films and web series. We did that kind of thing and got our funny friends to help and be part of that, and it was those projects were received well, and we got to try and figure out and find what worked for us as writers, and also as a performer too. I in Chicago did a lot of auditions, because if you look at me, I'm small and petite. So I got a lot of auditions and stuff for
Bodyguard.
Yeah, for Bodyguard, the Bodyguard in that Whitney Houston movie from the 90s. I got a lot of auditions that were in a certain lane, and there's
your
much more to me.
Is not.
It's not. My personality is not.
You can't get into the club?
Yeah. You're more intimidated than I am. I can't.
That's yeah. I was gonna ask you that. That's crazy because yeah, I didn't know until recently by being in the UCB community that Chicago was a thing. Even though I'm like, I know that's where it all.
Yeah.
And then I went to New York. I just always am like New York LA. Since you said you started teaching, how long were you like taking classes to the point where like I feel confident to teach? And did you ever have like imposter syndrome when you first started teaching? And how the heck did you overcome that? Be like, no, I'm actually like really good at this.
Yeah. When I started performing, I thought, oh, I'm just gonna be a goofball on stage. I'm just gonna joke around on stage and have fun here, and I'll do stage stuff and on-camera stuff. The theater owner in Denver, Colorado, after 2 years of me being there, and that's total going through class and performing. I was performing right away there. Wanted me to teach level 1, and I remember being like, me?
Sure.
Yeah, moi? Are you out of your mind? Are you loco? And then I was like, oh, you pay for it?
Okay, no. I'm ready.
I'm ready. So I did it, but I was definitely nervous before doing the class because I didn't know if teaching was something for me. But in doing it and faking it till I maked it, is that how it goes?
You really are faking. You don't know the faking slogan.
Yeah. I couldn't even speak. It went well. It was received well, and people liked it. Yeah, and I liked it. So I was like, okay, this is cool. Mm-hmm. I had this experience, and then in going to Chicago soon after that, I didn't plan on teaching again, but then the owner of the theater was like, yeah, and I got the opportunity. I think I was if not the first, the first black teacher, one of the first black teachers at the IO Theater. It wasn't. There definitely weren't any near or around me. And then, so I had a great time, but it did motivate me to open doors for others.
Right. Right.
Because other white people, I just wanted just pure white people just teaching. Just kidding. Other black people teaching as well. So could you imagine if I was just like, I shouldn't be doing that. That'd be insane. But it did encourage me to open doors for others in seeing that and doing that. You know.
Right. That's what I was gonna ask. If you ever felt like any trepidation or like obstacles when you like the only one on stage like of color. How was that? Like, were they welcoming? Was it like kind of awkward at times, or like I have to be even 10 times funnier?
Yeah.
Or was it a great experience for
you? Yeah, there was overall, just in general, I was welcomed as a performer. I walked into these rooms with confidence and knowing that I'm just here to have a good time. Mm-hmm. I'm not. If you got a problem, that is with you and the Lord. Exactly.
I'm happy.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just coming in with good vibes. Plus, again, with all the smiley stuff, I am much bigger and stronger than everybody that does improv, so I'm not worried. Don't forget. Okay. I was captain of the soccer team.
I'll kick you out.
Right. No, I was welcomed, but there is that thing, and it is still here, of that as a black improviser, as a improviser of color, your reference level has to be 10 times greater than that of
a good way of putting
a white performer.
Yeah, your toolbox. You have to know way more things.
Yeah.
That's such a great way of putting that, because even now it was funny because there was a Juneteenth show at UCB that I was a part of, but as well. But like I forgot who I was talking to. I think I was talking to another Black improviser, and we were making bets on like how many, like who would dominate the crowd, like what race, right? And they were all like black, and I was like, it's gonna be 70% white. I guarantee you. And it was.
Yeah.
And it was. It's still true. Like maybe when you started, you saw no one. It's a dash more now.
Yeah.
It's a dash more now.
Yes.
Thank you to Ali, Ronnie, Christine, Riza. It's a dash more now. But it's still, that is true. Like I have Jamaican immigrant parents, so I didn't grow up on Friends. I didn't grow up on Seinfeld. I didn't grow up on Frasier. So it's like I do now need those references, because if they pull it and the audience can all relate to watching that, then I'm like, it's not like Family Ties or Jamaican things or Jamaican food. So you're like, that is such a great way.
Yes.
You gotta know 10 times.
Yes, exactly. So it's an interesting thing that is underappreciated, undervalued. There's no microscope or pat on the back for being, for us existing in this space.
Right.
Also, remember when you and I met, immediately we were like,
it was crazy. We're like,
you're my best friend. Immediately.
After the show, we're like, oh.
Yeah, I know.
Other Black person in the room.
Immediately, that's how it is, and that even absolutely is, crazy, and the thing that typically there's not too many of us in
any industry really.
Really?
We were held back for so long.
Right.
Kind of tripled into everything.
Right. But it is a good feeling when we see each other and then we give each other that love immediately and that support, and like, what do you need from me? How can we help each other? Like, it's always.
And look, he's here now.
Look at that.
He's happy now.
Look at that.
So okay. All that being said, then you have a group, 3Peat. How did this come into formation? Did you all meet at the same time, same school, or was LA?
Yeah. Well, 3Peat.
Tell us what's 3Peat.
3Peat.
Tell us a little more about 3Peat, will you?
3Peat is we're an improv and sketch group from Chicago. We all met in Chicago, and we were actually all the one black person on different groups. Like the theaters and would create shows and have casts of people, and typically there's one black person.
Diversity.
Yay! So one black person on each group in each show. We were fans of each other. We were also friends in little pockets. Nice. And when going into auditions, it'd always be like us pitted up against each other, and I was like, "What? No, we're not gonna let them."
Put us against each other.
Yeah, battle.
Just whoever's funny is funny. Like, why is there one black spot?
Exactly.
On this?
Like, we're all great at what we do, and we're all so let's get together.
We love that.
Yeah. And so
don't put each other up against each other.
Exactly. We're not each other's competition. Right. Again, which is what you and I talked about when we met. We're like, let's exactly. We're all doing this together. So did that, and that sounds easy, but nobody wanted to give us a space.
What?
So
surprise.
So we had to go over certain heads to get a spot and get a spot in the show. We were given Monday nights at 10:30, which a lot of theater people know is a dead spot. There's no shows happen at that time. So we got that. We were attending, and we were like, great, that's fine. We'll take it. Yeah. We took it. First show, it was a really big theater, 160 plus theater, big space, and there were only a handful of people, more of us on stage than in the audience. we didn't care. We had a good time.
Right.
We partied. We had a great time. The following week, it had increased
Taco
into the
Town.
increased into the teens. So it was still a very small audience in that big space. The week after that, it was like about halfway full. Oh man, this is great. This is cool. The week after that, it sold out, and then we just went on a run every Monday night, just like partying. It was the best time. Just us being black, being friends,
Oh my
just
gosh.
improvising, doing whatever the hell we wanted to do, and absolutely loved it. And from that, because that the popularity, people heard about it. We got opportunities collectively and individually. So collectively, as a group, we got to start doing stuff with Comedy Central, this 3Peat stuff, and individually. We started to get opportunities to work in different TV shows like Saturday Night Live, The Late Show, Brooklyn Nine-Nine, etc. And so it was just great. And because we are so close and so tight, we had to move to different cities. We weren't able to continue to show on a weekday basis. But we, to this day, like I told you before, we just traveled to Baltimore. We still do shows together. Our text thread is still bananas, and we are close. We still work in different pockets, and of course, collectively too. So that
You brought each other up.
yeah.
Like you said.
Exactly. Is that thing of we met. We were like, hey. Let's support each other. We still do that to this day.
Lovely.
So it's very so cool.
Refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
That's lovely, isn't it?
It's love. It's all love.
Oh my
it's all
gosh.
love.
During that time, since you're saying, okay, with 3P getting opportunities, when did you personally get an agent, right? You move, you did improv, you were coerced into doing the improv, and then you start teaching. How did you personally, everyone, question, how did you get an agent?
Get an agent. Okay, there's a bunch of different ways to get an agent from my time in multiple cities and, working with different agents and managers and things. I'll say this out loud, and there's no one way to do it. There's the old school way of sending your info over to agents and that kind of thing. Mine was from the first one in Chicago. It happened because I BS'd my way. I lied. Always lie.
The entertainment industry is based on lies.
It's full of liars, so make sure you lie too. I have no shame in that. I'm dead serious. So because I remember there was something being filmed by he's not gonna see this. I hope he was a liar. It's a scam. I know it. His name was very long name, and he was a liar. But he came in. He had money to film this thing. He was trying to cast people for his project, and so in the interviews and everything, somebody asked, or they were asking around for a person. Somebody asked if I was, represented and stuff. I was not at the time because I was new to Chicago, but I said, I remember just saying I was. I picked one of the agencies on the name. They didn't follow up. They were just emailing me directly. So it kind of like, I just needed that little weight, that little boost to get in the door, that credibility to get in the door. And I did. I got to shoot this project. And then after it, because people had heard I was shooting this project, it gave me somebody recommended me to an agent because I was working on this project, and that project nothing came of it. But I got the agency and got to start auditioning for things in Chicago. Out here in LA, I'm not with that same agency anymore.
This was for acting.
That was for acting,
okay.
Yes. Out here in LA, one of the things I wrote with my brother we entered into a pretty a popular festival, and then so it was announced in like Deadline and all those kind of things. with our names on it, one of the lit agents at a big agency saw that and were like, "Who are you guys?" And then so reached out, met with her. Turns out we're best friends, and so through that we were signed as writers. But then also I was like, also I am an actor, y'all. I'm not a one-trick pony. Hello. nay. And so from there I got to get representation as an actor as well. So
finessing the system.
You gotta finesse, but you also gotta work your little butt off and always
stay ready.
Yeah, for real. That's I forget the exact phrase or quote, but it is staying ready. If you stay ready, don't get ready, right? Yeah, it's true. It's true. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Did you already have like, you and your brother wrote this? Did you already have like previous samples, or was that your main thing? In case they were like, we see that I want to see some other stuff. Did you have other things?
We did have other things for the agents that they could see, but we did have to work on more things to polish up for production companies, etc. But we did have quite a bit in the bank from Chicago in previous times of like things that had been filmed, but also things that we had written. And again, there's no one way of doing it all, but having a body of work is important. And as time goes on, you gotta get rid of the older stuff
because you should be growing, right?
Should be growing. Oh boy.
When did you feel it was like ready to move from Chicago to here? Was it because of opportunity or your instinct saying?
Yeah, I mean, like I mentioned earlier, I was ready to come here before Chicago.
Yeah.
I wanted to, and I know I would have been fine and dandy and great. But opportunities opened. What I didn't know is that 3Peat was meant to happen. I was supposed to go to Chicago to be part of that 3Peat magic, and so that did happen. And we had opportunities out here to do stuff. And I've been going back and forth from Chicago for about 2 years, really, as well. Like, luckily, my younger brother, got a job in south of LA, so I come out here, stay with him, meetings, talk to people, do stuff, and then we go back to Chicago. So I was doing that for a bit, and then eventually moved here.
Crazy.
It was a whole master
How are you
plan.
able to afford that? Was it with the projects you were getting, or are you also like doing a day job, like to fly back and forth?
Oh, it was projects and teaching and shows and workshops, like live stuff, non-live stuff. It was all of the above. I wore and still do a lot of hats to make it all happen. Because when I first got to Chicago, myself and a lot of other artists, not just like improv comedy people, but like musicians and all kinds of creative people, worked at a place called Groupon. And do they still exist? Mm-hmm. Okay, great. We love them. Groupon. Trying them out today.
Sponsored by.
Yeah. If that check doesn't clear, they're not sponsored and do not.
Just pay to support the small company.
Exactly. Yeah. But I worked there and was doing 40-hour weeks. I grew up starting at a crack of dawn because I wanted to work the super early shift, doing customer service, answering phones and emails, so I could have the day to rehearse or whatever I needed to do. And that involved me going to, I love to work out, so I would go into work out at insane hours and then go to work.
Right.
And then go and try and be a human
funny.
after. Yeah, and funny, do shows. And I'm the type of person that dives right in. Mm-hmm. So I was performing, rehearsing, watching shows all the time. Chicago, there's plenty of access for that kind of thing because there's a lot of different venues and they're all in a nice space, and you don't have to drive to get from place to place. So it was nice. I enjoyed it, but it's very tiring. doing that,
The hustle.
Yes, yes.
Well, now look at you.
I know.
Writing for Amber Ruffin and Tab
Yeah.
Time. How did those come about? Was that through your agents or you through this person and this person, right time, right place? And if people are like, I want to be a writer, how is it to write for a talk show where
Yeah.
it's like topical and I'm sure you need to like change it? And so, yeah, how did that opportunity come about? And then how was the experience maybe like what you thought it was going to be like, and what wasn't it? Like, what did you learn, or what was unexpected about it?
Yeah. Well, with the Amber Ruffin Show, I, again, just from being active, and you gotta stay active. It's tiring, but from being active, without sounding too braggy or anything like that, they knew who I was. They'd heard about me, and I was recommended to the show.
Nice.
Yes. And even though I was recommended to the show as a writer, I still did have to send over, instead of like a pilot sample, I had to send over a packet. So like an example of something I want to write about, a topic that could work on the show, and also monologue jokes as well, because we're doing a lot of topical monologue jokes. So I thankfully I am a fan of late night. So like I watch Seth and Colbert and the other shows to kind of have an idea of what the pulse is, and that definitely helped. So did all that, and then once working on the show, I learned a lot, even from structure of jokes and sketches, that like tiny tweaks that can make things pop, that you can do on a page, and where you put the punchline and things like that. But also, I'd heard this phrase before. I'm not crazy about it, but it is the lesson is there, and it's, I'm sorry if this hurts feelings, but it's like, don't be afraid to let your babies die, or kill your babies, and that's in reference to jokes or sketches that you may write that because in late night it happens so fast, and especially we were doing one show a week, so you start writing on Monday, and Friday afternoon is when the show is airing. We write hundreds of jokes, hilarious jokes that just poof into the air. They just gone. And because it's moving so fast, you can't celebrate all the jokes. You can't tell people why these awesome jokes are just not going to see the light of day. You just have to keep moving because so much is happening in a week. So that is, even with knowing that, it's still a tough thing to navigate.
Yeah.
Because
you created it.
Yeah.
Your babies.
Yeah.
So if people are like, yeah, I'm a writer and I'm confident in my work, and now you're saying some things I have to let go. How do you, not even just with writing, just the journey of the entertainment industry, the journey of being a black man in America, when you do have obstacles, how do you overcome them? Or they're like books, people, podcasts, music. Like, what are like resources that get you out of the
That's a good
hump?
question, because I know for sure, I don't know what they are, but I know there's books and podcasts and that kind of thing. I know what works for me is people, is my friends, is my black talented friends, and friends of all backgrounds, that are also in the industry, that I'm like, you are awesome. So if you're not, if you face a rejection, I know I can see that you are still awesome. Rejection is crazy and doesn't make sense. If that's happening to you, it's going to happen to me as well. So I kind of take, being able to commiserate with other artists, but then also pivot and be like, what can we create together, and not just not just
accept this.
Yeah, and not just have my eyes focused on one thing. There's like a lot of things I can do. This kind of goes back to the teaching thing.
Yeah.
It was not something I planned on doing, but the opportunity presented itself.
Yeah.
And I took it, and I was like, oh wow, I love this.
Yeah.
I did. Even I can even say that with writing. I thought I was just gonna be performing, and then I love writing. I have so much fun with it.
Yeah.
So yeah, being open to these opportunities.
It's still in the family of what you love.
Exactly.
Just to be open, yeah. Because I honestly, I'm not a writer, but I never wanted to. I really had no desire to write. I feel like improv is my first true love, but I felt like here in LA, they just want you to be everything. They want you to do sketch and improv and stand up. You can't just do improv. So I'll take sketch just to say I took sketch. And then I took sketch and I was like, I'm pretty decent at this. Wow, did it when I thought?
Yeah.
And like when I thought, well, like, no one's gonna get the game. This is gonna be confusing. I'm like, oh, it's actually not too shabby.
Yeah.
So yeah, I like that. Being open. Okay.
Yeah.
To the people. But I like that. Don't accept no from other people. You can create something. But I also like the quote. I just heard it like Rejection. Rejection is simply redirection. And so that like it makes the rejection sit a little go down a little better when like it's redirected towards something. Just like you said, I was supposed to go to Chicago to do 3Peat. Of course, I'm sure you would have been successful here if you came here first. But you were supposed to form 3Peat.
Yeah, exactly. Good. And that opened a lot of doors for myself, but also for other people. And I'm a true believer in. If a door opens for me, I'm gonna hold that thing open and wave as many people
Come on
as possible. Let's go! You know?
I love that.
Exactly, because like a party is more fun with friends.
Yes.
Right?
I love that. Okay, so drastic. Let's say you're 100 years old. You're in your mansion. You create all these projects. What is your like ideal like outcome? Like as a writer, actor, my ultimate dream is my legacy.
Oh my gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
That is crazy.
To think about. But we need to be specific so we accomplish
we
it.
Do.
Make vision boards.
We do have to, we do have to have dreams. Yeah. We do have to have dreams and goals, however you want to word it, but we do have to have things that we want to reach for so we can pass them. Exactly. And one of the things is plenty of things that
plenty of things.
Plenty of things. But one of the things is winning a major award for writing with my brother, because doing that with family, started with is just such a great feeling. I know it's going to happen, so it's a great feeling already, and I look forward to that. So like more, we've got to do cool stuff already together, and like just more.
We already did what we wanted to do.
Yeah, but it's great because we have
you just create with the people you love. Alright. Okay. So in forms of advice, I always like to ask this, like either advice you want to give or advice that you've heard. 2 pieces. What's a great piece of advice that stuck with you? And then what's a piece of advice that you've gotten that you're like, that's trash. Don't listen to that. I never recommend that.
Wow.
Because I think that's good to hear. I think
hilarious.
that's good to hear too. When people are like, oh, this is something that stuck with me, because I feel like maybe some people have good intentions or bad intentions, but like some advice could steer you.
Yeah. Good. We'll start with the good. Good advice would be be someone that other people want to hang out with.
Yeah.
As we go through in any industry, we could be talking about fast food, which I worked in as a kid. That was my first job. When people get a tiny bit of influence or power and become maniacs. You see that happen all the time.
A part of me was like, that's who you were to begin with.
Right.
I don't think, I'm obsessed with Oprah, and I think she said that at some point. She was just like, yeah, influence or power shouldn't change you. It just heightens or ignites what's already in you.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't give a shit.
Exactly. And yes, and so like you see people like let a little bit of that change them and or unlock that side of them.
Unlock the true.
Unleash. Yeah. So don't be that. And bad advice. How was it phrased? It was
He doesn't know how anything's praised, but
I don't know how anything's phrased. I don't want to misquote. You know when you misquote something on the internet?
It doesn't have the same impact.
Yeah.
They'd be like, actually.
No. Get out of here. Something about, because I saw it recently on the thing. I guess somebody giving a big bit of advice to writers to not listen to notes. To not listen to notes if they were telling you what to do with the characters. So an example of what was being said was like if you write something and say, hey, can you give me feedback on it? And I say, oh, this is good. It's a little bit long. That you can take that. But then if I start saying, well, with the dad character, I would have him go to Jamaica and do this and do that. Yeah. And you're not supposed to listen to that advice. I think that's bad.
Yeah.
I think listen to it, absorb it, take it in, and do with it as you will. But definitely hear what I'm saying, because if you tell people to start cutting off and not listening fully, you miss out on gems. You miss out on. There's no point in asking me to read a thing if you don't want my.
We're not collaborative.
Yeah. So that's bad advice.
Okay. So you guys know It Takes a Universe to Raise a Star is about all the fellow stars in your life. They don't have to be necessarily celebrities, just like anyone who's helped you along the way. So I just like to ask, who was a star in the beginning of your journey? They're like, oh, give you the nudge from like, oh, creating with my brother versus like, I think we might do this. And then who's a recent star? Today, you're writing for big shows.
Oh my gosh. That's great. Okay. So the star
in the beginning,
immediately that comes to mind is the woman in the Starbucks. Marianne Hogan. She gave me a nudge. She is super supportive still to this day, even though we physically haven't seen each other too many times over the years. But she
come to LA, darling.
Come on, love. We'll have a great time. She is just insanely supportive, Marianne Hogan, and so it was just warmed my heart to get to see her and tell her and share with her things that I've been able to do since getting that nudge. A star today. Oh boy. Oh boy. Can I say? There's so many wonderful people. I am going to say my friend Sheeds Olayiwola. She's insanely talented. I know her from Chicago. We go way back. Performing together back then, but and doing live stuff here together still. And she was recently on a TV show that got her very popular, and she's just doing great. And there's more wonderful things coming from her. I know how hard she works, but also we're like family. We talk all the time just about real stuff. So even though we are both dealing with this industry, the ups and downs that come with it, it's cool. I can talk to her about that, but also we just talk about real stuff and just like, hey, you see that game or from anything from that to just how's your spirit today. And it's just like really, again, I mentioned it earlier, but like the people are what makes home feel like home. The people are what makes your support system happen. The people are what make the stories you know and tell. You know what I mean? And what make life. So keeping good people around me is important, and she's one of many that come to mind.
Where can we stalk you online?
Oh my gosh, online.
Almost at 500,000 on TikTok.
Oh
Crazy. I'm there like,
crazy.
what the heck?
It's crazy. TikTok. I have a lot of fun on TikTok, just goofing around, and so yeah, that's just my first name, last name, and then Instagram, NNGWE17, and then I'm on Facebook and Twitter or X, or whatever it's called.
Know. I was like, what's happening?
I know, but like, it's a little too crazy on those apps.
So we'll just stick to the TikTok.
Yeah, TikTok and Instagram. Because also too, I don't want to, just for my sanity, I don't want to commit to just all apps. It's like, these apps don't pay my bill.
Exactly. Well,